you're never going to know everything.
Yep.
You don't know what you don't know. So if you're just constantly absorbing content and not doing anything with it, you're literally never going to do anything. You're just going to keep learning and learning and learning and never actually do something with that.
What's up, everybody? It's Austin Rutherford back here again with another episode where we talk business, finance, and real estate. Today I got one of my friends, Travis Copeland, on the set. We're going to talk about, how he got into the business of real estate, some of the mindset shifts he had to go through, and where he's at today. So I appreciate you being on here, brother.
Hey, pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. So just kind of tell him, who you are, where you from, and what you currently do right now.
For sure. So like he said, Travis Copeland, also from the Columbus market. So kind of picked up Austin from local other investors in the area. I work a 9 to 5 in healthcare, so real estate's really kind of just a second gig for me at the moment.
Yep.
Eventually I'd like to make it
at the moment.
At the moment, yeah. But eventually I'd like to make that a full-time thing. So working in healthcare during COVID, it became very stressful. I was feeling burnt out, so I was looking for something else to keep myself going. And I stumbled across Austin's Instagram. Just followed him for a little bit, knew he was from Columbus. I got like a really genuine vibe from just what he was putting out. So I picked up on the real estate blueprint course, was what really changed it for me. So I've kind of always been in this process of I'll learn things, but I'll never take action,
Yep.
I absorb a lot, but like I'm not doing anything different. Like I went to school, I went to college, I got my degree, got a master's degree, but then I've just been in the 9 to 5.
Yep.
But I knew I had more. There's something else there.
For sure.
So I bought the real estate blueprint, and that really kicked it off for me. So dove headfirst in, went to the last mastermind in October, I think it was, in Cancun.
Which was 4 months ago?
4 months ago, yeah.
4 months ago.
And just chatting with Austin, I was like, I'm going to be the first person there. I'm going to be the first person to sign up. Because I knew if I put it off, I wasn't going to do it.
Yep.
So I had to take action right away, or else I knew I'd never do it. I'm very self-aware of kind of how I operate, so I had to dive head first, and that's what I did.
So the last mastermind in October, I posted on Instagram. I was like, yo, here's what it is. Swipe up if you're interested. He was like, I'm in. Yep. I sent the wire. Let's do this thing. But like, I think you said it. I think you said you heard it from me. It's fire, ready, aim.
Yep. Yeah.
So like, what does that mean to you? Fire, ready, aim.
Yeah. So I think you posted on Instagram, like in a post. So you can't just absorb knowledge all the time. Like you have to take action on that, and you're never going to know everything.
Yep.
You don't know what you don't know. So if you're just constantly absorbing content and not doing anything with it, you're literally never going to do anything. You're just going to keep learning and learning and learning and never actually do something with that. So I kind of took that to heart. I was like, all right, I got to do this. I bought the course, I bought the mastermind, and then less than 2 weeks after the mastermind, I bought my first property. So
I love it.
So literally head first, like dove off the deep end.
So fire, commit,
right,
and then figure the rest of it out later.
Absolutely. And that's exactly how my first deal went.
I love it. I love it. So, kind of tell them about where the first deal came from and kind of how it transpired.
Yeah.
And if you want to share numbers, how much money you made.
Yeah. So my first deal, I set up a carrot site. So a website really where you can get leads from anybody who's looking to sell their house. So I had just set that up like a week ago, and they're like, it's going to take months for this to like get traction. And I get this lead, I'm like, no way, not already.
That never happens.
This is luck, for real. I was like, but again, like I had to put that carrot site and take action there. But somebody reached out, local guy, he does a lot of remedy on properties for realtors and stuff. He's like, look, I don't have time to finish this property. I got a lot of other projects I'm behind on. So it was a condo on the east side of Columbus in the Gahanna area. And I didn't really know what I was doing, honestly. I had just bought the course, just went to the mastermind, and I was like, all right, let's do it. I was like, all right, I'm gonna wholesale this one, get a little bit of money out of it. So the guy wanted $97,000. I was like, all right, we can do that. I found somebody I was gonna wholesale it to for $110. They came out, looked at the property, and they're like, nah, we're not doing this. So I was like, all right, well, I can flip it. We'll see what happens with flipping. So really never thought I'd flip. I just got into this to wholesale. So I didn't have private money. So I'm like, how am I going to buy this place? Or I didn't have
fire ready. Figure the rest out.
For real. I was like, I have no money. I know a few people who could maybe lend money, but I don't know people with a lot of money that could just give me $97,000 and then money on top of that to figure out how to fix the place up. So I was like, all right, I'm going to start asking around, and people looked at the deal, and they're like, there's not enough margin on it. I'm not comfortable with doing that. So I was like, well, I got a few more days to figure this out before the deal kind of just goes to the side and I can't really help these people out. So I called these people back. I was like, look, if you buy this for like 103, like I'm gonna make a couple $1,000s. I'm just gonna wholesale it to you. And they're like, all right. But then a buddy approached me and he's like, why don't you just see if they'll do seller financing?
Yep.
And I was like, all right, tell me more about that, because I'm still learning about that too. He's like, just see if they'll take a down payment on their house and then pay them off the rest when you sell the house and fix it up. So luckily, this first deal, just things worked out.
Yep.
They took $15,000 down, got their $82,000 at the end when I sold it. So I ended up buying it for $97,000, put about $25,000 into it. So I'll end about $120,000 somewhere in there.
Yep.
And sold it for $158,000 cash. So we made about $25,000 on my first one.
I love it. I love it. So to recap, you started getting educated in real estate.
Yeah.
But you started marketing at the time,
Right.
which is how you get leads to buy houses.
Yep.
And then you didn't know how to fund the deal.
Absolutely not.
So you tried to wholesale it, but wholesaling didn't work.
Nope.
And then you're like, all right, let me get creative. Let's
Yeah.
do seller financing, which
Yeah.
basically the seller finances the deal for him.
Right.
Did you pay the rehab out of pocket?
I did find a private money lender, a guy who I know. I just asked a question. I was like, all right, maybe I'll ask this guy. I just asked anybody I knew. You never know who's going to do it.
Yep.
He's like, yeah, sure, I'll give you $30,000 to do the rehab, $15,000 down payment. So
I love it.
It worked out, yeah.
So seller financed the purchase.
Right.
Private money lender financed the rehab.
Right.
Again, no experience, no construction background.
Nothing.
None of that stuff.
Nope.
Figured out a way to get the deal done.
Right.
And made $25,000.
Yeah. And the cool thing about that is the guy who did the project for me and flipped it, I met at the October Mastermind. The guy who helped me with the seller financing and the contract to do that also met at the October Mastermind. So really that network really helped me out with everything through that deal.
I love it. I love it, man. Fire ready aim.
For sure, man. I'll live by that for the rest of my life.
It works.
It does, for sure.
No, that's awesome, brother. So like what does it look like today?
Today, so I sold.
How long ago was that?
Yeah,
when you
so
sold that house?
I sold that one on my birthday, December 23rd.
Boom. Happy birthday.
Thank you, appreciate it. Hit the big 30, so 30s are gonna be a good one. But I sold that in December, and I actually bought another one while I was doing that project.
Nice.
So I bought another one in November, sold that one in December. The November one's still in process. But I also wholesaled a 3-package deal for a $70,000 profit.
How much?
$70,000.
On a wholesale.
Yes, those
That means
3
you never-
properties.
You never bought it.
Never bought it.
You just made 70 racks.
I did.
How'd that lead come about?
Cold calling. Yeah, it was a cold call lead. It was actually a commercial property. I saw the lead pop up into my CRM, and I was like, I have no idea how to evaluate this stuff. So I actually reached out to you.
Yep.
I was like, hey, what do you think I should do with this? I almost never called them because just looking at it, I was like, this ain't even a house. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this.
Yeah.
So I called them, met with the guys, kind of got Austin's opinion. He's like, well, just give them a ballpark range of where you're at. Like, what do you think we could pay for it? And they're like, $400,000. I was like, all right, let's do it. So I bought a house and a storage unit that were together. And then there was another house that sat right in front. So I went and picked that house up too.
Yep.
So 3 properties, sold them all to the same guy for $500,000 total.
$70,000 later.
$70,000 in profit, yep.
I love it.
Yep.
So some people like are in a day job.
Right.
And they want to get out of the day job,
Right.
just like you started.
For sure.
But you started marketing, and I'm assuming you hired a cold caller.
I did.
So when you do something like that, instead of him calling 1,000 people, which
Yeah.
you don't have the time for,
Absolutely not.
you hire somebody for, what are you paying?
$6 an hour.
$6 an hour.
Yeah.
And then they call thousands of people a day, and all you get are the interested hot leads.
Absolutely. Yep.
Which is a couple a day.
For sure, like
So-
2 or 3, yeah.
So instead of making 1,000 calls a day, you make 5 to 10 calls a day.
Yeah, just do all the follow-ups.
Yep. So having a full-time job, as you can see, this is still very realistic for somebody
Definitely.
to do.
100%. I mean, at the beginning, it's a grind. I mean, I go to work. I work in healthcare 9 to 5. I go home, make the follow-up leads.
Yep.
I have a kid too, so I work that in. Like when I don't have my kid, or when I do have my kid, I got to work all those things in. So
Yep.
it's definitely feasible. I mean, you just have to prioritize your time, figure those things out. Really just focus on what's important. So I hired other VAs to pull lists and do stuff for me. So that's been a huge help for me. It's just finding other people to do things for me too, because I really don't have the time to call leads every day, all day.
Yep. Yeah, I've said it a million times. You make time for what you want to make time for.
100%.
It's that simple. I hear it all the time. Well, I got this going on and this going on and this going on. I just don't have time. Like, that's all lies.
Yeah.
You could have made excuses about your daughter, about your work, about you being tired.
Yeah.
But you got it done.
Yeah, it's a priority thing.
Yep.
It's this deal that could come in, like the first deal I had, that it's literally a life changing. Like $25,000 isn't a ton of money, but it literally sets you off on a new trajectory. Like that's $25,000 that I could put into more marketing to get more leads, to get more deals. So like it just changed the trajectory and one deal of what I'm doing.
And then the 70 grand, I don't know how much you make in a day job, but that's more than what a lot of people make in their day job.
That's nearly my salary.
In one deal.
Yeah.
Like that's the power of real estate. So, okay, I love it. You're crushing it. What's next?
What's next? So scaling.
Okay.
I think that's next. Like I said, eventually I want to get out of the 9-to-5 in healthcare, or a 9-to-5 in general. So creating that time, getting more leads, getting more people to work for me, that's really where I'm at next, is hiring somebody who can actually do those follow-ups for me so I can put my focus on other things in the business. So like an acquisitions person. So really keep wholesaling, just add in more flips as well, and then eventually hold some more rental portfolio. Start building that. No rentals yet, so just getting started though.
I love it, man. I love it. So, grew it, you're starting to make money, still working the full-time job right now. But everyone always has a hesitation to the fear. What were some of the big hurdles mentally that you had to get through to get to the position you're in?
I think for me, the biggest thing was I was terrified on that first deal. Truthfully, I didn't know what I was doing. I had a good baseline knowledge, but I was like, I told these people I'm going to buy their property. And for me, I don't like letting people down. So I thought I was letting these people down if I didn't buy their property. Like, they're counting on me. So I was like, I got to figure this out. And I think that's what helped me. I was like, I'm helping these people. I need to do it for them. Like, that's what we do in real estate. We're helping people get out of situations that they maybe can't get out of. So I was like, how am I going to do this without letting these people down and they have to go find somebody else? So I think that was the biggest thing for me, is just getting past that mental barrier of like, I'm gonna maybe mess this up, or I'm gonna lose some money. Like that's always back of mind.
Failure is part of the process. Like you said, most people learn so much because they're scared of failure. But failing is part of the process. The fire ready aim, guess what? You're gonna fall on your face a few times.
For sure.
But you gotta get up, you gotta keep going. So any worries like financially or anything like that, maybe spending money in marketing, like was that a fear at one point?
Oh yeah, so luckily I connected with a guy earlier last year that taught me a lot about leveraging like business credit and 0% credit. So I literally leveraged all of my marketing
on credit cards?
on business credit cards. Literally about $20,000 just for all my startup costs, like getting everything started. So that $25,000 like went back to paying for all that marketing and stuff. So that was terrifying. It's just seeing money going out all the time, but nothing's coming in yet, because when you're marketing, stuff never happens on the first try. It takes months for a lead to commit to actually selling their property or doing those things. So you're constantly putting money out, but it doesn't show up back in your bank until months later when they actually close the deal or those kind of things. So that was definitely terrifying. 100%. Racking up debt. I mean, it's good debt at that point, but I knew something was going to come. But it's always scary just swiping something and seeing it go up and nothing else coming in. So
for sure.
Definitely.
It's a fear, but like when I understood that marketing was an investment rather than an expense,
for sure,
it makes it a lot easier. It's never a matter of like if something's going to happen. It's only a matter of when something's going to happen, as long as you take the correct actions, like making the follow-up phone calls.
For sure.
So that's part of it, that everyone's all fears. Like I see too many people get into this business and they're like, well, I'm not going to spend a penny until I make a penny. You're not going to make money like that. Marketing is the lifeline of your real estate business. Without marketing, you have no sellers. Without sellers, you have no deals. Without deals, you have no money. You got to spend money on marketing, and you can't leverage it. Credit cards.
For sure. Yeah, and like you always say, we're not necessarily in the real estate business. We're in the marketing business.
100%.
So,
got to do marketing.
100%. and anything, really.
Literally every business. Every business is marketing. Real estate just happens to be our product. So gotta marketing. Cool. So, over your life, or maybe, over the last 6 months learning this business, what's like one thing that, if you could leave somebody with one thing that, maybe's changed your life, what would that be?
For me, it's the relationships that I've built. Like you always hear people say, like, get around people that you want to be like, or surround yourself with people to where you want to go. And for me, it was like that Cancun mastermind. I knew I was going there. I was spending money that I probably didn't have. Like, again, I put that $3,000 on a credit card to go to Cancun. I was like, but I knew my investment after that was going to be much larger than the $3,000 that I was spending. So the relationships that I built there, they weren't just relationships that left with Cancun. Like, we're back here again, but we all hang out in Columbus. So surrounding myself with those group of people literally helped me everything through that first deal. But I mean, we're always spitballing ideas back and forth, seeing how we can do things better. So really the relationships that I've built are worth way more than flipping a house or doing any of those things.
100%. Your network is your net worth.
Sure.
People say it all the time. People kind of forget about that. But it's truly, truly powerful. Those people will force you outside your comfort zone.
For sure.
Will give you the idea to do owner financing rather than walk away from the deal and lose $25,000.
Right. Yep.
Will bring the buyer to the table to make $70,000 on an assignment fee. Your network is your net worth. You have to do it. And for anyone who's running about the events and stuff, I host vacation masterminds like we're here today. This one's in Punta Cana, just if there was any confusion what that was. But no, I love it, brother. It's been awesome to see you from, not really knowing anything about real estate to making 6 figures in the matter of less than 6 months.
Yeah, I mean, those deals all happened within a month, so.
That's insane. Took me 16 months to make a penny 6 months in. But that goes back to the power. It's never a matter of if.
Right.
It's only a matter of when. That's it. So that's awesome, brother. Where can people find you on Instagram or Facebook or whatever platform you use?
So Facebook, just Travis Copeland. I don't do a ton of
Copeland.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Really, Instagram's kind of the biggest thing I'm on. Trav, TRAV_Cope, COPE.
Cool. And we'll link those in the description below, so you'll be able to find them down there. But man, like I said, it's been awesome to see your journey, the progress. I'm looking forward to see what you got in the future. But I appreciate you being on here, brother.
Thanks for having me. Just getting warmed up, man.
Absolutely, man. Cool.
Appreciate it. Dog. Absolutely.